Now it is, yeah. Hello, testing one.
Testing.
Say it, no? Right?
Testing.
Yeah,
That.
that does work. Yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. I think we should turn
Okay,
this
come
off.
on.
Yeah, even if you turn it off, it still records, right? I think.
Sure, yeah.
Yes, nice. Is this your first time
Oh,
being recorded?
how come there is no charge?
Maybe it's just
It
like
just
on this one.
drained.
No, yeah.
Oh, no. Okay,
It
yeah.
was just white.
Yeah. I thought ready.
It's a nice day today.
Yes. I have a friend.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Should we go this way? So you've never been recorded before? This is the first time. Have you?
Thinking. Come on. No. Oh, maybe. Yes, one time.
When?
In the Cisco-ல நான் தமிழ் பேசலாமா?
Yeah, it doesn't
Doesn't matter,
matter.
right? Yeah.
Whatever you're comfortable
ஒன்று
with.
தானே இல்லை சிஸ்கோவில் ஜாயின் பண்ணி ஒரு couple of yearsல எங்களோட there was ஒரு வீடியோ எடுத்தா for one of the products, Cisco products. ஸோ ஆட்ல உனக்கு பண்ணுவல ஆட் மாதிரி அதில் they asked me to நான் அப்போல்லாம் அந்த சல்வார் மாதிரி போட்டுப்பேன் அப்போ.
Oh, you had to talk about that?
No, talk about that. I think they just wanted somebody like an Indian who like in their traditional clothes or something like that, because they called and they asked me Friday I ran into somebody and they asked me, can you come? I said, okay. Yeah, I don't know what to do. சும்மா ஏதோ ஒரு ஃபோன் நீ ஏதோ எடுத்து பேசுற மாதிரி அவ்வளவுதான், புரியுதா? They asked me, can you wear the same clothing on Monday? It's like, oh, I see now.
What did you have to say?
Nothing, madam. அது ஏதோ ஒரு ஃபோனுக்கு ஆட் அது, புரியுதா? Cisco உடைய one of the phones that we were producing or அந்த மாதிரி. So it was just like ஒரு ப்ராப்பர் இதுக்கு மாதிரி மார்க்கெட்டிங் இதுக்கு. That's what I remember.
Yeah, I feel like one thing, because I've recorded for so long now this is my third or fourth, it's just now one thing even when I was interviewing this time, I interviewed a lot of people from India, right? And all of them would always tell me in the beginning, like, oh, I don't think I've done this before, I'm a little scared, I'm a little shy. But I feel like I think
the fact that it is on file,
it's
right?
remembered. Yeah because I think everyone feels like there's like a right thing to say at first, but then what I'm realizing now, like the job of the host is to make the person feel as if they're not being recorded, to forget fully that the recording is even happening. And the only way to do that,
and especially if you're asking about, like, say, someone else, that's when it gets like, okay, this the person has to think,
should I say this or not?
Yeah, I think that's when it gets
more personal.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess there's like different, if you ask like an intellectual question,
Yeah,
you'll want to make sure you're saying it properly, because there's like a right and wrong answer. But if you're asking something personal, then that's like a whole different ball game of like, it depends on how comfortable they are sharing, whatever part of their life. Like, but it's been very interesting. I feel like being the host, I feel like it's a
என்ன சொன்னார்? What about his I mean, he was okay with the recording?
Yeah. Because the thing I think is like, I think it's different for people at different points in their life.
I think for him it doesn't, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's a new thing, but I don't think he will mind. But
it's like, I think that's one of the saddest things about when I look at my family history. I just feel like there's been so little recorded. There's not even just recorded in this sense, but journals, like even in writing, like pictures aren't enough, because I want to understand how someone thinks, like if you understand how somebody has thought throughout their lifetime, you can learn a lot. I mean,
unless you write your own personal journal, and a lot of times in the personal journal would be for your own mental state. You wouldn't want someone to read that. I mean, unless you want to write like a biography that you want someone to learn from. But if it's a journal, I don't want anyone. I mean, ever. Maybe at a later point I'll be fine. But I don't want Shruti or Sanvi to read it now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So and I write it. I don't write my whole entire mind there.
Oh, really? You hold back?
I hold back, and not just that. I think இது வந்து என்னுடைய personal diary கிடையாது. I started it more for them. Like what is happening in their lives. So, but then sometimes I like transition into how my mind is. I was upset with this. But then I pull back and say, okay, no, this is not what I was going to write it for. But avaluடைய இது என்ன அப்படின்னா, So my mind in it, it's not a journal like that. But even that, I don't want them to read. Maybe Shruti can read, like on the kuttiya irundappo, like her on the age, maybe she can right now. But yeah. But unless you want to share it with someone, you don't want someone to read your diary, right? In fact, நான் வந்து இந்த என்னோட அப்பா போனப்போ இல்லை when my சித்தப்பா passed away, that was 2021. After 2021 November I went to India for like 10 days or more to see my parents and chitti. Appo I was, my appa is very quiet, she will not speak much. But I wanted to understand what his state of mind was after all this happened. He will not talk. So na appa diary eduthu padichen, thinking that I will see something there, then maybe we can start a conversation or something. But no, it was zero emotions there. It was all to the fact,
what I need to
the
do.
point. Na vande na pone, this happened, that happened. That's it. Zero emotions there. I'm like, oh, what do I get out of? I got nothing out of that. But I mean, that's how so it depends, I think,
how they go about it.
But if I look at my Tata's diary, my Appa's
well documented.
I mean, well documented, that is his mind.
Yes.
He will have both. He'll have both facts, because he wants to, like, for example, appala வந்து நீ notes எல்லாம் எடுத்துக்க முடியாது, app எல்லாம் கிடையாது. So he will actually remember, நான் இன்னைக்கு bank போனேன், இது பண்ணேன். But he will also have his mind. But me or Girish or someone will be the one writing his diary, because kannu theriyadhu. So we have to write it for him.
Growing up, you'd write his journal?
Yeah. So that's how I know he will write other things also, his mind. So on the diary pathena, you will know. Okay, he was happy, he was upset. But I guess it depends on the person.
It's like entering the past. It's very beautiful. Because even from Appa Amma, Appa has like 3 photos from when he was a child, like and then so I feel like for them photography became something that was very important to them. So like for me, they took so many pictures of me as a child. But I think like one unfortunate part about pictures is that it paints a different picture than what was really happening at any given time.
Because you just pose for it.
Everything looks so great.
You want to think of this as a good time.
Yes. And so that's why I think it's only through sometimes having conversations of like, I don't know, you can even remember really what it was like to be in that time.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, because I think after going to India this time, this was the first time I've realized how much I don't know about a lot of the parents in my lives before they came to the US, right? Like I feel like what their life was here, somehow in my head I'm like, that's what it always was like. But the lives of Bhaskar uncle, or everyone was so different from wherever they came from, like, and so I feel like I really want to just get a better understanding of what their life was like before they came to the US, for example. I think it's
completely different life.
So you were born in Chennai? Where? Let me think. Where?
I think Chennai. I don't know. Hospital somewhere.
You were born in the hospital?
Yeah. Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And then you were the second, right? Oldest? Second. Then Mahesh, and then you, and then
old Mahesh first.
Yeah. And then you, and then Mahesh. Yeah. So how old was Mahesh when you were born?
He's 2 years older.
Okay, nice. What's your first memory that you have?
First memory. I don't know. Lots. I mean, I don't know. Enna vayasnu theriyadhu. But I don't. Maybe like 5 years. 5-year-old. Maybe 5-year-old. Yeah, or between 5 to 6. I think maybe when Ammu was born.
Oh wow! Yeah. That was your.
That's why I remember that very distinctly. So அதுக்கு முன்னாடியா எனக்கு மத்த மெமரிஸ்லாம் அதுக்கு முன்னாடியா அதுக்கு அப்புறமான்னு தெரியல. But this one I remember because I know I can relate it to a time that when Ammu was born, which means I was 6 years old then, or around 6. Because we were waiting for the baby to come home, and we were fighting See who's going to touch her first or carry her first அந்த மாதிரி. So that and it was like அது இந்த கதையை நான் சான்வி கிட்ட அடிக்கடி சொல்லிட்டேன். அவதான் கதை கேட்டேன்னா this will be one that I remember. So அதனால இது கரெக்டா ஓரளவுக்கு தெரியாம இருக்கும் என்ன ஆச்சு அப்படின்னு. Tell her the story.
And these type of memories, I feel like, yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell whether that was reminded to you by a picture, but there was no picture. So
there was no picture. Yeah. So this one, I have the picture in my head.
Yeah.
How it was that day. It was raining, pouring, car, and I distinctly remember. So I must be from memory. Then தோணுறது எனக்கு.
So to see her from a baby all the way to, you know, now both of you coming all the way here.
We still call her baby. So that has never changed.
Nice. Yeah. And so it was you, 4 of you growing up in the same house, right? As in for children?
Yeah, correct.
And so were you 4 all close growing up?
No, Ammu not so much about, because after a few years, he got bank work, so he has to move from one city to another. So they moved to another city.
Oh, where?
South Tamil Nadu da, but somewhere interior like that. So we will only go there for summer holidays and mari. So and mari irundhudu. So not very close, but I mean she was still a baby then, so it was like close na, but we would love to be around her home. Adukapurama when they came back, maybe naanga or 10 or maybe 11 years old maybe. Appo we moved to Alvarpet separately, like we joined they were in Velachery and we moved to Alvarpet. So appo we would still go every weekend, but you know appo or mari not like you're not growing up together. So slowly, but I think she was always like or baby. That was always there. So it didn't matter whether we were close, not close, it doesn't matter.
I feel like out of a lot of that generation's siblings, you, Girish, like you guys are a lot closer than a lot of the other sibling groups I've met. What were you guys like as children?
As children, I think Mahesh I would fight a lot.
About what?
I mean, about anything, everything. We would never get along. So fight a lot. Girish kuda, I think I was maybe more closer because we could talk to him.
He's younger
Mahesh
too.
kuda, his man, maybe that is another reason. His younger makes difference. But I think Mahesh after, so growing up kuda, we weren't close na, indha mari secret la share panna matom. It is different kinds of closeness, I feel. As in the sense after getting married and the actual closeness of there is somebody. I have 2 brothers, I have a sister that I can talk to, but abdi or feeling appalla it didn't strike me, or we didn't realize that how much it was needed.
Did you have a lot of friends growing up in that area?
Yeah, friends in nariya perama. Yeah, but not that maybe konjo close friends that I still keep in touch, but not close ippo. But yeah, lot of friends.
What were their names?
Yeah. I think at each stage I had one which was very close. Like elementary la orthi, elementary and like up to 10th grade maybe. Or friend. Apro 11th 12th grade la or friend. Apro college la or friend. Every stage I had one.
When you think about before you were 18 or before you went to college, when you think about some big moments or relationships that kind of changed, or teachers who changed kind of like the trajectory of your life, who were some of those people and what were some of those events?
I'm thinking. I don't think I had influence from my teachers, because in teacher nu sonna like not one person, takkani ara orthar, they don't come to mind. But people na, it is definitely Chitappa and my tata. And I think that is true for all 3 or 4 of us. How much they influenced.
Your appa's appa?
Yeah. Amma.
What were some of the things you learned from them?
And appa. I mean, and my appa, of course. Like appa's he very organized, very calm. He will not get like stressful or but he will never show that. He will be very calm. Like think பண்ணி lot of thinking before he does anything. And சித்தப்பா and தாத்தா வந்து they're like happy, like they're very personality, like very jovial personality, and lot of giving, both of them. So I think that is very striking, which that comes to
the giving, joyful, and the like more thoughtful and kind of
very helpful. Like around, like socially, like a lot of people that they've helped until their last moment. A lot of giving.
And so growing up, you feel like you kind of internalized that and were like, this is how I want to be?
I don't think appadi yoshchadilla nanu, but you process that much later, right?
Yeah.
Comes back to you much later.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that is very striking. Not that I do so much of it, but I think on the thought it is there and it shows up.
Because that example is there, right?
That shows up like once in a while when everything else goes to the background. I'm like, okay, then what I should maybe I should what am I doing யோசிக்கும்போது okay நம்ம இது பண்றோம், so it is good அப்படி அப்பதான் தோணும். It is not like comes out like every day கிடையாது. Like them அவளுக்கு I think a lot, it's like day in day out they had somebody that they would help, or அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய, or they would go out of their way to do that. அந்த மாதிரி நான் அப்படி கிடையாது. I think Mahesh has a lot of that personality. He truly he will follow that அந்த மாதிரி. He will go out of his way to do.
And so when you were 18, is that when you left for college?
Left kuda I went to college from home. Yeah.
And Girish and Mahesh, they went to boarding, or they were from home too?
Ellarme abitilla anga there's no, I mean, people go outside there, but all 3 of us or all 4 of us did graduation from home.
So when was the first time you left home alone?
When I got married and came here.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
so,
hard.
Like a big leap.
Yeah. So what was that journey like for you? I feel like that must be tough for anyone, right?
But I don't think I mean, it is a problem and not a problem. I don't think too much of the situation. I just go with it.
Yeah. And you trusted Mama because you were going with him.
I mean, that is one. But I had my own doubts also. Yeah. But I don't know. Something kept me going. I don't know. If I think too much, you wouldn't be able to survive.
But not even just the marriage, but you left to a whole new country, right?
It's not like you have any kind of support. So I think a year later, maybe, or a year and a half later, Girish got master's gone. That was my first. Okay, I have somebody else here that I can actually at least talk to. So, but yeah, that's a big.
Do you remember your first impressions of the US when you came here?
எனக்கு நல்லா இருந்தது, but I don't think I appreciated as much then, because maybe I was holding back a lot. Like I didn't want to accept that this is good. I still usually I hold back. I hold on to things a lot more, which I shouldn't. But I think it took quite many years to let go that okay, this is good, this is a new place, it's all good things now, because you want to still miss home or miss people back. I think I hold on to things a lot more, and not just other in the group I was like crying. No, I am not going to leave this building today.
Yeah.
So I think I hold on to things too much.
Yeah, that can be hard, because it's kind of part of you also feels like you're I don't know, perhaps you're like giving up on something when you accept a new thing, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And so how long did that take for you to fully let go?
I think several years, several years before I actually felt like, okay, this is home. I never felt that. I think it's true for Mama also maybe, but Mama Kid is slightly different because he was waiting to come out from home. Yeah, he was I wasn't like waiting to get away from home or anything. So Nala, it was different for me. I think it took maybe, I want to say at least maybe 8 to 10 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because you came 1999? 2000.
Yeah.
So until 2010.
So I would say at least. I mean, until after Shruti was born. For sure.
Because when you both first came here, did you have the intention of going back? Really?
Yeah. Like plans and we just went with
the flow.
Yeah.
But there was no real intention in mind.
With no like whether we are going back or not. Like as an apro in the sense, I don't know if I want to go back or not because I don't have a holding there.
Yeah.
But I think Mama still. For the last few years, we were like, as we get older, right? You want to go back to roots. I think Mama wants to go back to that nature environment.
When you think about Tamil Nadu, what do you miss most?
I think miss childhood mainly.
More than the.
Yeah.
What about childhood?
I mean, as in the fact that how much fun it was.
Yeah. What parts of that do you think is hard to replicate for you now?
I mean, all those friendships and, we didn't care about as much. You can just
be free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you have to be a lot more calculated. If I do this, this will happen, that will happen, right?
Yeah. It was good. You didn't have to think.
You also felt, I feel like at that point, like you had so much more time in front of you, right? Like the whole world existed still.
No distractions. You would always spend time only with people.
Yeah.
You will be bored.
Yeah.
Just different.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
I guess this is a hard question to ask, but how do you think your life would have been different if you never left?
What if I didn't marry him and what if I stayed back? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe maybe I would have remained in Chennai.
Yeah, you'd be. Is there a word for it? Chennaiite?
Yeah, or maybe somewhere in a different city close to Chennai.
Life would have been so different, right?
I know.
Because I think one of the biggest things is when you leave, you get so much exposure to just the world. I mean, it's a bubble. Because a lot of people there don't even travel to nearby states and because of language differences, and so that's just the state you're in for a long time.
Yeah. I think after 22, I started going to work. Slowly, I think, started gaining some confidence also.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. I would be like super quiet. Opinions quiet.
But how did you get through college and start working at Cisco and
college was fun. I mean, you have lots of friends. Yeah, I mean, college life is different. Usual thing in class, cut or whatever, or whatever, going out. That was college was a lot of fun. Work. I still remember first the interview.
Yeah.
I remember Mama na kootindu pona. And I was wearing that kind of a silk salwar, almost. But I felt confident. I don't know if I made sense or not, but I felt confident just to talk. So the fact that you can at least just talk without, getting scared.
Yeah.
But I felt confident after that I will get this job.
Oh, wow. So, was it just one interview?
Yeah. This was the only one that I attended.
Oh, nice. And so that's your first full-time job?
In India, 1 year work.
Okay. Yeah. What was that company called?
It was called SIP Technologies.
Oh. So I guess one question is, I feel like being a woman in India, many people have very different experiences of that. And so I feel like from growing up, did you always know you were going to be this, like, person who's doing amazing in corporate and has been able to do all, like, what did you envision?
I didn't think too much at all. I just went with whatever I got. So I didn't have anything in mind that okay, but I only had in mind that should do whatever, should do decently in whatever I'm doing. And to be honest, in this job, I mean, I'm not passionate, but I will do it the right way, or whatever, as good, as best as I can. And I mean, I may not be like, go crazy and, do a lot more than, as in go where idu pannalam adu pannalam appdinu pomaten, but whatever I'm doing adula olunga irukku. And my main thing is like I want to be with in good terms with the people that I'm working with. Nobody should be saying no, she's not a helpful person, or she's doesn't know whatever, and mari illama, like to be in terms, adha enakku main a irukum. Illati I don't feel comfortable working in that group at all. It doesn't matter what kind of work. So I think I think it kind of worked well in that sense. The kind of people that you work with.
Do you feel, in what ways do you feel like your experience was different than perhaps other women who you may have grown up with, or girls that you went to school with, who perhaps like were derailed from like being able to work and maybe even study? What do you feel like was different about your experience?
I think mama is definitely one, right? Like I've seen a lot of friends who maybe not given enough opportunities after wedding, after marriage, like were either suppressed or not able to express or do what they want to do. I think in that sense, definitely mama is very open about whatever you want to do, right? So I think that was definitely one difference from other friends. And also unlike a lot of other women in general, if you women, they will say the woman of the house is the one who handles things, or அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும், அப்படிதான் இருக்கும். Like, and when the husband comes, the house is a mess. But in our house that is not the case. So it's completely opposite. I mean, I don't make a mess, but it's not me who sets everything straight. So that is a big difference. That doesn't, not everybody has that. So நிறைய பேர் complain பண்ணுவா when they complain about whatever their husbands, or I will have nothing to say. I will like, I better keep shut. Okay, I have nothing to complain. So I better keep shut.
That's funny. Yeah, because I think it's been really, I feel like you've been a great role model in that sense for me, and for a lot of other people also. Just like in your own way, you've kind of reshaped what it has meant. I mean, you've broken a lot of barriers that who knows for how many people who've been in your life, which is kind of, it's cool. Do people ever tell you that?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't heard in that sense, but sometimes I mean, I felt a couple of times that okay, maybe this made a difference for them. But I don't remember like specific instances.
And so you had that huge transition where you, after you were at home for so long, went to school, then you got married, and then you came to the US, and you were here for about 8 years before Shruti was born, right?
6 years, yeah.
6 years. What were those first 6 years like, where it was just you and mama?
Yeah, I mean, it was different, right? I mean, as in...
And me.
That is true. It was, I think, I remember I was still unsettled, of course, right? Because I would எனக்கு அந்த quietness எனக்கு பிடிக்காது இங்க. It makes me very very nervous. ஒரு மாதிரி எனக்கு ஜிட்டரியா இருக்கும் அந்த quietness, because you're not used to this quietness. So in general, walks walk is supposed to make you feel good, but no, it makes me feel the opposite way. So மாதிரி குவைட்டா நீ இப்படி நடந்து போயிட்டு வரேன்னா it reminds me of again home all the time. So it took, that's when I took like at least maybe 8 years or so before okay, this is the place. So I think it was tough, but then நீ இருந்ததுனால it definitely made a difference for us, right? Now எல்லா holidays we would எங்கேயாவது நம்ம போவோம், like trips or something. So that definitely helped. And then I think it was only the first year matram da na veetla irundhen. I think next year la irundhu office poamitten. So office ponadukapra that was slightly different. So you had things to look forward to, work panna pogumbodhu, whatever, new friends, new people.
At that point, were you guys planning of like, you know, what do we want with our lives, what do we want to do, or was it more just like
it was just more just going with it avladha. Appo kuda enak pesina nyabam illa about what we want, வேற எங்கேயா மூவ் பண்ணமா இங்கேயா, அதெல்லாம் எதுவுமே பேசின ஞாபகம் இல்லை எனக்கு.
Because you had all that you needed, and right, and you had like a thing to do every day.
Yeah, ஆமா. And I think like I know Mahesh was also trying to come. Girish was here அந்த மாதிரி. So I think maybe slowly வேற எங்கேயும் மூவ் பண்ணணும், there was no reason to shift or anything. Because இங்க அப்பதான் இங்க it was the big boom, right?
Yeah.
So people were coming here, they weren't moving away. Ipadan you have realized, okay. Then people have started moving.
Yeah. And then so year 6, and then Shruti was born. What was pregnancy like for you? Was that a very new, challenging experience?
Oh yeah, of course. I think adukku I have the tani separate journal for
I remember that one.
Yeah, I have to go back and look, but that was definitely a big one.
Because your amma appa, no one was really here, right?
Mom, no one was here during the pregnancy. Illa tata paati Adambakamla tata paati, they were here for like maybe over a few months irunda, maybe 3-4 months irunda, and my amma came for a month exactly nanikren.
Okay, so 5 months
after Shruti was born. Yeah.
Oh, okay, after
1 month irunda. Yeah, but that was it. Yeah.
Was it just I feel like
good. It's a I mean it's a different. எனக்கு ஸ்ருதியோட எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் அவ்வளோ ஞாபகம் இல்லை. சான்வித் தான் இப்போ ரீசெண்ட்னால மோர் ஞாபகம் இருக்கு. பட் ஸ்ருதிஸ் வாஸ் I was much younger, so I think I was more stronger then. And I could withstand more pain at that time ஞாபகம் எனக்கு. Because if Shruti இது மாதிரி இப்போ இருந்ததுன்னா I wouldn't have withstood. If I had more, I was more brave and stronger.
It's hard, yeah. I feel like when you're younger, you just don't
see the fear, right? You don't feel them. You just whatever,
no, definitely.
Yeah, you have all the fear. What if this goes wrong? What
because I feel like that's where I am in my part of my life, where like I don't feel, I do things that I should be more afraid of, but I'm not. I'm just like, I will figure it out. But I think the more and more you experience, when you look back, I'm like, I don't know how I did that. You know, I don't know how
like if you ask me if I want to go what jumping was that?
Okay, skydiving?
Yeah. Seriously? Why did I do that so much? I like it, but I don't know if I'll do it now.
Yeah. It takes a lot more to like the courage to do something like that.
But it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
A lot of things actually appo nariya, especially in the sports related.
You were an athlete, things. Right?
Because I think now, because in the back I think I consciously say, okay, should I not abdi irukum.
Yes.
But I still have that thing. It's like, no,
you were a runner, right?
Okay. Runner nilla, but I like to do track and field.
But I remember you had a bunch of awards and you had won a bunch of things.
Yeah, that's true. But that was it just in college time la.
Yeah.
And school time la.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, and I love that. That was definitely a good one, a lot of memories.
And then Shruti was born in 2007. Six. And those first like 5 years, I feel like, of raising a toddler, what was that
that was like that was like a breeze abdin thonudhu.
Really?
Because she was like a very easy child. ஒண்ணுமே பிரச்சனை இருக்கு. Unlike அதனால அப்போ ஸ்ருதி வந்து when she was younger, very easy to handle.
Yeah, each part of life comes with different struggles. I feel like there you have to worry so much about every health issue that comes. You're like, oh my god, what, like they got this cold. That I can imagine the fear that happens when your 6-month-old baby has a cold for the first time. That's a lot of fear. Like, and then as they get older, you have to worry a little less, I guess, about like, are they going to get sick and this, and then you worry about other things. Like,
I mean, there's always something to think about. But adala taandi, you still want to enjoy every day.
Yeah. So I guess that's an interesting question. I feel like, I'm curious how you handled. I feel like a lot of times what ends up happening is as you get older and you have children and you have more roles of responsibility, you start to lose sense of your identity. You're not a person anymore.
I think we force ourselves to do something for you to keep that going. It is not very hard.
Yeah.
To keep keep doing that, keep thinking about something day in, day out.
And usually for someone else, like you don't ever get to think about yourself.
Yeah, right? I mean, and at least as simple as just going out to work and come back, a distraction, because you'll be talking about something else. Right? Not them. So I think after this COVID has made it slightly worse.
Because you're all one.
Because you're seeing the same people, you're thinking about the same thing. But I think now it has gotten better. So I'm going out to work. Come back. Because even though it is tiring now.
Yeah.
It's good.
And then Shruti eventually went to school, and then that was, I mean, these, as I'm even saying it now, it feels like so long ago. I actually don't even. Yeah, I don't remember you being pregnant with Sanvi anymore.
Oh, and I remember the recording on I will show you. I think I have it.
When you told me that Shruti Sanvi? No, I don't remember.
Shruti, you probably remember.
Yeah, because I cried. I remember that one.
Yeah. Sanvi then நீ வந்த ஹால்ல உட்கார்ந்திருந்தோம். We said, I don't know, I mean, I remember the video and the setting. Exactly எப்படி சொன்னேன்னு ஞாபகம் இல்ல. அப்புறம் but I have the recording.
Time just flies by, and then everyone gets old, and then it's just
It's like நான் இந்த shift பண்ண போறோம்னு யோசிச்சுட்டு இருக்கோம்ல.
Yes.
அது வந்து it was like, it feels like ages ago that we were talking about. High school முடிக்கணும் 8th gradeல வாங்கினதோ நம்ம அந்த வீடுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன், something like that.
When I was?
இல்ல Shruti 8th gradeல இருக்கும்போது.
Oh, that other one. Oh, yeah.
4 years இருக்கு அப்படியே. It's like now.
Yeah.
Like so yeah. அதுவே அது கூட நான் என்னோட அம்மா பாட்டி, அம்மா கூட மேபி பாட்டி யூஎஸ்க்குலாம் வருவா அப்படிலாம் நம்ம யோசிச்சே பார்க்கலாம். அவ வந்து it is like 6 months now almost. Like seriously, time flies like.
Yeah. What is one thing you've learned from raising Shruti that you're doing differently when you're raising Sanvi? What are some wisdoms that you've picked up?
Very tough question. I think one I took for granted. Shruti, everything came for free with her. இப்போ யோசிச்சா, because அப்பெல்லாம் நீ சாப்பிட்றதுக்காக இருக்கட்டும், people will always, friends எல்லாம் சொல்லுவாங்க, என் குழந்தை எதை சாப்பிட மாட்டேங்கிறா, சாப்பிட மாட்டேங்கிறா, பிக்கியா இருக்கா. Like seriously, why? No, நீ அப்படிலாம் இல்லை. She was the easiest. அதே மாதிரி she will do her own things. You don't have to tell her. Be it reading or whatever, doing her work, அதெல்லாம் அவளே பண்ணிடுவோம். So that was nothing I had to do for her in that sense. And இப்போ பார்த்தேன்னா I feel like, okay, Sanviki, she needs someone to sit with her, or she needs a little Sanvi amma different in that sense. But I mean, I've learned, okay, and that is not how everybody is.
Yes.
Right? So this is different, and this is good in a different way also.
Yeah. I mean, it's fascinating to see personalities form from such a young age.
Yeah.
And they're,
and I think appo na avlova thought கொடுத்ததில்லை how this child is அப்படிலாம். இப்போதான் அதை நான் கொடுக்க வேண்டிய மாதிரி இருக்கு. Now I think back and say, okay, இதுவே Shruti இது எப்படி இருந்தது யோசிச்சு பார்த்தா, ஓ யா, இதெல்லாம் நம்ம யோசிக்கல அப்போ. We're made to think about it now. அப்படின்னு. But I don't know if I'm doing anything different. So I feel like நான் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் less pushy-ஆ இருக்கணும், like as in forceful. But I don't know how to do that. At the same time, we don't cannot let everything go by. Yeah. There are some things that you want them to follow, but at the same time not be forceful about that.
That is, yeah. That's a tough problem that exists at a social level, at an individual level, at a familial level, of like, how do you influence without being forceful, without like forcing, right?
Correct.
Because nobody wants that, but then you still also don't want to be influenceless, because then you have no kind of say in anything, which is also, at that point, I don't even know if that's parenting. So yeah, that's a challenge. But have you found parenting to be one of the hardest things you've had to do?
Oh, of course, yes. There is nothing harder than that.
Yeah. Not harder than birthing.
No. I thought when I was done, so Chuti poranda parama, I've done the biggest thing possible. No, you didn't.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, not parenting.
So if you could go back in time, let's say, and talk to your, right when Shruti was born, maybe a few years after Shruti was born, what would you tell that woman?
Thinking. I think maybe we didn't talk as openly about things so I don't know.
It's a beautiful image to even just think about talking to that person, right? I feel like as we get older and older, we look at the younger versions as ourselves as very naive, right? Because there's just so much they haven't seen and that we end up doing.
Correct. Yeah.
And so, you brought up your house. I think that's like a deeply profound experience that you're going to go through, and the place that you've called home, and you've built so many relationships around it. And that place is what you said when you said it took you 10 years to call a place home. That was the first place you called home in the US. And after 20 something years, you're now moving. What does that feel like?
It feels very weird, but I'm hoping it also comes with other perks, right? Like you're closer to people, and maybe in the Mari change will, like, no change is not helping anybody. So this is a forceful change I'm hoping will help us and Sanvi mainly, so that school new friends. She's very sensitive to a lot of things, but you have to go see people, know people, make new friends. So I think maybe in that sense, hoping it will help bring newer experiences.
What about for you? Like, I feel
same thing. Of course. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe I will break out of routine and it will make me force ourselves to break out of routine and do things different, because you see the same things every day. So maybe it will be different. Like, you will get a new routine for everything. So, and that other way it will be interesting. Let's see, a lot of change.
That's a big change.
House, new school, Shruti college. A lot of new things. We'll see how everything goes. But like I said, usually a problem bigger problem now or fix. So I hope crossing.
But I think it's just one of those things where, even as we have this conversation, I feel like 10 years from now, maybe, we'll find this somewhere and we'll play it. And it's just kind of crazy to think, who knows what the world will be like in 10 years from now. 10 years ago was 2014.
Yeah,
Sanvi wasn't born, right? And then what else was going on at that year for you?
She was 8. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I had no idea. 2014 was Tata.
Oh, okay.
So that I remember, But 2014. But then in general, it's all a blur. Like, even before that, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I don't know, 2000. I think 18, 19, 18 is, I don't remember. 19, like COVID, there is like timelines, you have remember certain things.
Yeah, school also helps with that. School is like, okay, I have one like, freshman, sophomore, junior, but you don't really, once you get older, there is none of that.
You go by your kids' timelines, many major life event, something like that.
So what are you looking forward to? Is there any, what are some things that you
looking forward, actually move the next thing is mind, of course.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one, but I want to stressful-ஆ இல்லாம பாத்துக்கணும்னு இருக்கு. Yeah. But I don't know
how to do that.
So to talk to mama.
Because packing is stressful.
Yeah, packing and also the money aspect of it also. Like how can we make it less stressful for us? And then and I think எல்லாமே தான் மூவ் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் slowly இவளுடைய like how to bring in routine for like Sanvikki அவளுடைய classes or whatever, right? அப்புறம் ஸ்ருதி எப்படி செட்டில் ஆகறோம் காலேஜ்ல எல்லாமே தான் இருக்கு. So I think that's the next big thing on mind. Where onu because other things have been addressed in the year. Like amma or party, like na India point. So all of those have been behind. Right? So this is
the next one.
Next big thing.
And then one day this will also become a small thing of just that we'll have like 10 seconds of memory for. It's just fascinating how that happens. We can shrink down entire years into maybe 5 or 10 seconds of memory. That's it. Yeah. And that's 365 days of life. And that's always been.
Monthly journal.
Yeah, that's been helping me really like value time as well. Understanding every month is 4 weeks. 4 weeks is one event. Like that's a theme. You can have a theme, but that's been helping me kind of value time, I think, better, because now I have something at the end of every month to think back and be like, what was that month like? And then I started it and it's been 4 months already. Time's flown by even in doing that, where I'm like, okay, each month was kind of one story, and then it's I'm very curious to just where it all leads to. I don't know, like where does it seems like there's a path that we're just going on. I feel like I used to think I was so in control and I was the one making everything happen, but now I'm just realizing there's just I'm kind of also just going down this path. I don't really know if how much of control I'm actually putting on it. Correct. And so I'm just like, I'm curious what's going to open in the future, because you just don't know. You don't know who you're going to meet, what you're going to do. You just, anything can happen, right? Like life can throw anything at you, and so you just have to always, I guess, be prepared to handle whatever comes. But in some ways it's also beautiful, because it's always like you can always be curious. Like it's like what will happen, anything could happen, which you said this when I was about to travel to India, because I said I'm so excited because anything could happen. You're like, that's the exact same thing that your parents are afraid for. And I think that's like it's similar to what you said too when you were younger and you came to the US. You're just like day by day, right? Whatever. Yeah. But I mean, if you really think rationally about how many things could have gone wrong, I mean, it's endless, right? Like
you wouldn't move from your spot.
Yeah, you would, exactly. You have to be naive in some ways to move, to act. Yeah. Otherwise you just be calculating all the time. Yeah. And so
manager salon, he will they like so to add some randomness in their lives, right? What they'll do is like for vacations, he will just whenever break he and his wife, they don't have kids, just go to the airport, whatever flight is the next one out which has a spot.
Oh wow,
we will just go there.
That's an awesome, actually, wow, that's
he does that.
And then they just figure out once they're there what to do.
And you just go and then to figure out wherever we are going, we don't know.
Wow. That's an adventure.
Yeah, something to.
I think that's like the power of having a support system. It's the trust that no matter what comes, even if you're not capable, you have mama, you have Nikirish, you have a set of people who like
to keep these relationships going. It is not simple to maintain something like this with 10, 12 people for like 40 years, 45 years. It is not. There is work needed and you have to give a lot.
Relationships are hard.
Yeah. And lots of ups and downs. Yeah, I mean, I've had lots of misunderstanding, and it will yet to come a lot more. Usually the when they start growing older, appadhaan lot more come. But yeah, how you still keep that. So that is one example from my appa and chittappa, how they kept it going. Because avlo differences irukku rendu per. They are a completely opposite personality. So, but then how they still kept it going. Yeah, so I keep telling Shruti, it's like we are 8 of us if you look at adults.
Yeah.
But உனக்கு அப்படி இல்லை, it is 16 plus 1.
Yeah.
So அதனால as in, no 8 plus 1, sorry, 8 kids plus 1. Yeah, so அதனால I have to keep that thing going, because that is what comes till the end. Yeah. But I have friends also, like appaku ega amma irukkavari, who will be there, but that nobody, not everybody.
Yeah, that's a hard thing. And all of those like take so much time. It's not something that can be built in 6 months. I think I didn't really realize that until I lost some of the friends that I thought were going to be friends my whole life. Where I was like, oh, like it's just crazy.
No, but even that, I think it will suddenly come back 20 years later, right?
You never know.
And you will just start from where you left off. That has happened too.
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm saying.
But still, yeah. But like every day, like throughout your lives, that is a
yes, that's
deal.
harder.
That is harder. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm realizing is the difference. Even as I see some of my friends getting married, I'm realizing like friendships are prone to end. You know, like depending on how people handle their partner and you know, all of these different things.
Right. Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I mean, as we start walking home, I guess one of my main questions is if for whether it's me or Shruti or whoever listens to this later, if there's one piece of advice that you could kind of tell.
I'm very bad at giving advice.
Really? All the things that you've experienced in your life. It doesn't have to be advice, but what is like one thing you tell yourself even?
Like I want to Shruti to சொல்றது என்னன்னா, like keep your funny bone alive. If not, it just gets to you on those days when you really need it.
Yeah.
And like be kind to yourself. Sanvi kuda anik sollithu, it is amazing how she realized and solradhu kuda illa, like she thought like that. Avak rathri solren, like you know, like we had she was like a cranky something, edukko cranky irundhathu, so she was mad at everybody else also. So adu solradhu, thamma na vandu nee unkita kind ah irukano appada appdin solla varen. Then she says, amma na enkita kind ah irundha da enakku mattavalta kind ah irukanum thonrudhu. If I get mad at myself, then I naturally want to be mad at everybody else also. I'm like, oh, அது எப்படி அப்படி யோசிக்க தெரிஞ்சதுன்னு புரியல எனக்கு. I'm like, exactly, if I'm mad at myself and I'm not having a productive day or whatever, you end up showing it on others. Yeah. Naturally அப்படிதான் இருக்கும். You are mad at everybody. Let them also suffer. But I mean, it's amazing how she said exactly those words. But yeah, be kind to yourself. That is the hardest thing actually to do. To practice.
To give yourself empathy when you've messed up, like in those type of times.
Yeah. Because usually நம்மள தான் criticize பண்ண தோணும் for everything that goes wrong. Yeah, I think I did this, I messed this up, whatever. Yeah. It's very hard. நான் சொல்றேன், it is very hard to practice.
A harsh inner voice.
Yeah.
Do you spend a lot of time kind of speaking to yourself?
Yeah, I do.
Like, yeah. I think everyone does, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one conversation you always have, right? No matter how.
And usually it will be critical of me da irukum. It's very hard to praise yourself abdi irukum. Only when you're talking to somebody and that friend or whoever like emphasizes that, okay, this was actually good abdi, appada you will realize, oh, maybe it was good. But usually it will be critical of myself da irukum a lot of times. So it is very hard to be kind to yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, that was it. How did it feel?
It was good. I'm glad. Tough question.
Yeah. I didn't have to. Yeah, kept it easy.
And not controversial question.
Yeah, no.
So I can actually listen to this 20
Yeah. No. But it just, now we'll just have like a time capsule,
Right.
And then if you do another one 10 years, then you have a time capsule of that time. Because you'll be able to identify small subtleties of like, oh, this is where I was feeling something, but I didn't speak too much on it. You know, you'll know.
Like, you will know.
No one else will know, but you'll know. So it's like, that's what I think the beautiful part of this is. Thank you.
Thank you, Thamma.
Episode 1. All right, we can turn this off now. Yay.